Hello, this is Arvind Joshua. I'm a fashion, costume, and craft designer, and I'm pursuing direction of cinema and stay in Hyderabad. I'm making this video because Sam will ask me to make a video on what it is to be a Christian in film industry and the kind of challenges you would be facing and how you deal with it. So this is what he asked me to talk about. So I'm trying to answer some of the questions which are raised by him. So I'm a fashion designing graduate from NIFT Hyderabad, and after finishing my college, I ended up in film industry, in Telugu film industry. It was not my choice, but then I didn't have much of a garment industry in Hyderabad, and a lot of my friends were in film industry, so I ended up in industry. My first film became a big hit, so I continued being in industry. It's not that I don't like the industry. I've been a costume designer, by the way. I've been doing costume designing. But what I liked about film industry is it's a culmination of so many creative things. We have art direction, we have costume designing, we have writing, we have lyrics, we have singing. We have a direction which is a combination of all these skill sets. So I really like that energy which is in filmmaking and how people are passionate about making good things happen. So I am in the industry, and I somehow feel that more and more people should be people who believe in God, people who believe in Christ should be in the industry, because film industry is just like fashion industry is one of the most competitive industries. You strive hard to make your mark, and there is a chance for you to become an overnight superstar, or you can miss that chance. And there can be a lot of disappointment, there can be a lot of competitiveness, and there's a lot of jealousies and a lot of passions involved. So somehow feel that Christians should be part of industries like this. When I hear about some hero committing suicide or some heroine committing suicide, I believe that if only we could reach out to people like them. I really feel that had I been there, what would I do? Maybe I think I would speak a word of encouragement, which I try to do with many people. So Christians should be in industries like this, because industries like these are very competitive, and you will never settle down in an industry like this. You're always running and you're always trying to meet the expectations. So there is always a chance of disappointment and discouragement, and more people who believe in the love of God should be a part of this industry, because that way you can make a difference. So that's one reason I give you why you should be in industries like this. One more reason is like this is a creative medium, this is a creative field, right? All creativity belongs to the Creator, and nobody is more creative than God. We see that God talking about the design of the garments of the high priests and the priests and all that, designing of the temple. He talks so clearly and so vividly about the kind of motifs, the kind of fabrics which should be used. God is a God of design, and people who believe in creativity should be in creative industries like movies and fashion and costume designing and fashion designing and all that. So it's a field of creativity, and because you believe in a creator, you should be in mediums, in fields like this. You should not shy away from becoming a part of industries like this. And what are the challenges you'll face if you enter this industry is one more thing he was talking about. I think I didn't face any challenges. I didn't face any challenges because one thing, how will you face challenges? One thing is you get tempted. You get tempted by this beauty of this industry, the kind of girls, the kind of aesthetics, the kind of glamour which this industry is associated with can tempt you. But in that way, I think it's not just about film industry or fashion industry that tempts you today. Everything tempts you, even your mobile phone, your cell phone tempts you, your TV tempts you. Those who want to be tempted, they can get tempted by anything they see, right? So, but then film industry is not just about temptation. Film industry is about expression. It's about creativity. It's about thought being evolved from nothing to something, and that being executed by so many people coming together. So it's more about imagination and creation rather than temptation. So you don't worry much about the temptation. And you won't get tempted if you really love God. When we love God, we don't want to disappoint him. We all get tempted, we all fall, including the King David. King David got tempted, right? So we all get tempted. I'm not saying there is no temptation. I'm saying even if there is temptation, temptation just is not in this industry. It's not limited to just movie industry or fashion industry. Temptation is everywhere for those who want to get tempted. And you get tempted, you fall many times maybe, but then if you love God, you'll always get back, because you have to go back to God. You can't live with Him, without Him. You can't, I can't stay away from Him, because you would miss Him. So you know that when you know that you can't live without Him, He is your top priority, when He is your first love, then even when you do few mistakes, even when you do some things which you yourself don't like, but you do it, you'll always get back, you'll always rise up, you'll always stand back on your feet, and you go back to your God, and then you start running. So don't worry much about falling, don't worry much about being tempted. God, who's your true love, if He is your true love, will always get back on your feet. So make God your top priority, make God your first love, then everything would fall into order. Wherever you are, you won't do anything that would hurt Him. So that's, I think, the first thing you can do to yourself. Make God your top priority. The other thing which you can do is, don't hide this love for God with your fellow technicians or your work environment. Do let them know that you love God. Do let them know that God is your top priority. Do let them know about your testimony. Do let them know about the good things God has done in your life. Don't shy away from expressing your love for God. That way they would know you're certain kind of a person. There are some limitations. They can't push you to do few things which you don't want to do. They know that there are few things which they cannot tell you to do, and because you won't do it, because your priorities are very set and very clear, because your rule book is very clear. So make sure you tell about God and experiences with God to your fellow technicians and all those who work with you in the beginning itself, not in the later stage. Finally, I think industry people are not here to tempt you, because they all are basically very creative people, and they are very serious people. Movie making is no joke. It's not it's not all a joke. You convince a producer to invest crores of rupees in your dream, and I don't think it happens if you are not serious about your work. So cinema industry is just a temptation island. It is basically creative field, creative medium. Directors work hard, everybody works hard to meet the expectations and what the story demands, and they get associated with people who are with the right mindset, people who are educated, people who are serious about their work, who are passionate about their dream. That way they won't mess around, they won't mess up, they won't play around. Their priorities are very clear. Just the way you want to meet the expectations of God, they want to meet the expectations of their dream. So they will not ask you to do anything crazy, because they themselves are not doing anything crazy or anything stupid or anything funny. So find your right circle in the industry. There are people who would come here just for the glamour's sake, just for the sake of girls, just for the sake of money, just for the sake of attention and media, mileage and all that. But there are always people who are genuinely passionate about what they are doing here. If you get into such a crowd, even if they are not believers of your God, even if they are not church goers, they will be more serious than what you are. They will be more passionate about what they do. They won't do anything stupid. They won't do anything which is not right, and they won't ask you to do anything right. So that's all I want to tell. These are my experience with my career in filmmaking and costume designing and fashion designing. Make God your first love. When you make God your first love, everything would fall into order. Don't shy away from narrating your story and sharing your testimony. That way the standards would be set. People would define your character and your limitations, and they won't cross it. And enjoy what you do. Just give your best. If you are good at what you're doing, if you are good at costume design, if you're good at direction, if you're good at dancing or singing or writing, then nobody would mess with you. They would respect you, and the world would adjust according to your rules, according to your definitions. So make sure you do whatever you do the best. Then everybody would listen to you, and you will be on the top and you can tell your story, you can tell your testimony more boldly and more confidently and with more authority. So be good at what you do. Yeah, that's all. Thank you so much, Sam, for giving me this opportunity to talk about my experience in film industry and fashion industry. I wish many more would join, because God is a God of creativity. Just don't shy away from entering it. Don't shy away from sharing your testimony. Enjoy.